All right, good afternoon, everyone. It is officially 2 p.m. Eastern on, it's hard to keep track sometimes, July 12th. So, welcome, everyone. So, I got something to show you here. We're going to be talking about the biggest movers, how to trade the biggest movers, isolating short squeezes, exponential moves, hot sector plays. And one thing I want to show you is it's kind of funny. You may get a kick out of this, but this is from this morning. So every single day with members of the Tim Sykes Challenge, I do a live webinar, 8:30 Eastern. It's not the only webinar. It's just I'm going over that, but we actually have about 4 or 5 webinars a day. But the morning webinar every single day, 8:30 Eastern, and actually some of you may already be on it, but pre-market prep is what it's called. And this morning we had RXRX, an artificial intelligence play, former runner, with a huge equity investment by Nvidia. Now, before I get ahead of myself, please, guys, take out a notepad or open up a doc on your computer. Okay, we're gonna go over probably 3 to 4 tickers today that are all set up to go exponentially higher in the next few days. All of these are heavily shorted stocks. All of them have catalysts. All of them are in hot sectors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, number one, write down RXRX, okay? And again, kind of a funny moment, but this is from this morning. Watch what happens. Watch the price of RXRX and watch what happens after we see the news and we talk about an entry in the 8s and the 9s. So I won't play too much of the screaming, okay? But the point, I was in the 11s. I'm sorry. I thought it was a little lower than that. But as soon as I saw it, okay? So the point I'm making is as soon as I saw this stock, I knew that it had the potential to run. So it was in the 11s. Guys, it went to 19 10 minutes later, almost doubled from that price level as soon as we saw the equity investment by Nvidia. That's huge. Like a lot of you may know or you may not know. Guys, Nvidia, by the way, write that ticker down. New 52-week highs on Nvidia. This stock has just been on an absolute tear. Nvidia, one of the biggest companies in the world, and all it does is go higher, and it broke out today. Nice, awesome, Nathaniel. Booyah. So Nathaniel was in RXRX from 9 to 12. Guys, can please everyone drop a congrats to Nathaniel. Listen, I don't know how many shares Nathaniel had. I don't know. Listen, if he had 100 shares, that's $300, guys, in a matter of minutes. Woo! Like, again, I don't know. Maybe he had 1,000 shares. Maybe he had 10,000 shares. I have no idea Nathaniel's position size, but imagine, guys, would you have liked to have been on that webinar and made $3 a share in a matter of minutes? Where 100 shares could have made you a $300 in literally minutes? That awesome, man, Nathaniel, incredible. So anyway, let me go back to RXRX and then I'm going to get to my agenda and we're going to go over the goals for today. So the point with RXRX is this thing is currently consolidating. Oh, Nathaniel had 2,000 shares. Oh. Welcome, my friends. So again, I don't know Nathaniel. I haven't seen his brokerage statement, but I don't know why. I don't know why Nathaniel would make it up. But from the looks of it, Nathaniel made about $6,000, guys, in like probably minutes. That's why we trade these stocks. That's why we look at these stocks. Man, Nathaniel, congratulations, my man. So anyway, RXRX, write that ticker down, write down NVIDIA, and then we're going to go over the other ones, and we're going to go over the whys. And I want to be very clear with RXRX consolidating right here at VWAP. It is so far from done. Okay, guys, that's kind of the recap of today. We've got a bunch of low float squeezers. AAOI is another stock. And then CVNA, 1.5 minutes, says Nathaniel. So guys, CVNA, this is Carvana. Carvana is a stock that is eventually going to fail. But once it broke that 30 level, that $30 level back on Monday, this thing has gone straight up. It's currently up about 15%. And Carvana is a huge company. And you can trade options on this thing. So again, write down CVNA as well. So, all right, I need to double back and introduce myself. Actually, if you don't mind, let me know in chat. Are any of you somewhat familiar with me? Okay. And just give me a yes or no. You don't need to know who I am. I'm lead trainer with Stocks to Trade, Tim Bowen. The only reason I asked the question is it kind of helps me go through the bio a little bit. Okay. So that being said, I've been day trading for 17 years, started day trading 17 years ago. I've been interested in trading my whole life, but right out of high school, I started a business. So that business was bootstrapped, and we were working 80, 100 hours a week. So really just didn't have any time. Okay. Even though I'd always been interested in trading, I was building a business, I was building a family. And then come 2006 was kind of the official start of my day trading career, because in 2006, I now had a little bit of time and a little bit of money. Okay. And I don't say that to brag, but it's just the reality. We started the business about 94, 95, couple years out of high school. Took about a decade, but then over the course of that decade, built it up into a profitable business. Now I got employees, and now I got a little bit of free cash flow. So I start trading in 2006, and I start doing it what I would call like the old school way. Okay. The old school way is, trading these slow moving real stocks. Like often I'll call it like the Warren Buffett method. If you read Warren Buffett, he'll tell you, hey, like if you drink Black Rifle coffee, okay, if you love Black Rifle coffee, Warren Buffett will tell you, buy Black Rifle. If you drive a Chevrolet, buy General Motors. If you love your iPhone, buy Apple. Okay. And listen, I would never bash Warren. Obviously, he's a super genius. But the thing with Warren is he has, a decades long, a plan. He's looking to make big money over decades. And the drawback to that trading style is it works. I mean, it obviously works for Warren Buffett, but the problem is you need such a big account, because when you're trading these slow moving stocks, you're talking single digit % gains, which, another Warren Buffett quote, the eighth wonder of the world is compound interest. So listen, compounding single digit gains over decades, that adds up to a lot. It becomes a lot of money, but you got to start with a lot of money. That's kind of the deal with that strategy. And I'm going to assume a few things on this webinar. And the first thing I'm going to assume is that most of you, and maybe all of you, don't have, $1 million account. You don't have hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in your account. You just don't. I mean, that's why you're here, because you're trying to learn how to trade and grow your small account. So it's great for Warren when you start with millions. Hey, it's great. But so I did the same thing. And the funny thing is, I was actually really good at stock picking, like really good. So in those early days, I would have like 9 out of 10 winners. But the thing is, I never made any money, because I'd get to the end of the year and I'm looking at single digit % gains, which is awesome. I mean, I got 9 out of 10 winners, but they're all, one's up 2%, one's up 4%, maybe one's up 8%. And I'm like, well, I could have just put my money in the S&P 500. You know, I'm sure all of you know the S&P 500 index. Probably a lot of you have your retirement in that. And it's like, here I am spending all this time and effort, a lot of time, a lot of effort into trying to do this thing, getting up early, staying up late, and I'm basically matching what I could have done if I just left the money in an S&P index. So let me know, is that a lot of you guys? Are you here because you're trading these quote unquote real stocks and you're just not moving the needle? Like that was me. Crazy win rate, like insane win rate, but it just didn't move the needle. And I'm like, well, I'm wasting my time. So then what I decided to do is I actually started researching day trading. And funny enough, I want to look it up. American hedge fund. So on my Amazon account here. So on January 25th, 2008, I purchased an American hedge fund, How I Made $2 Million as a Stock Operator and Create a Hedge Fund by Timothy Sykes. Everything changed. Okay. I was going to say the day I bought this book. I mean, I probably read it in a week. Okay. The week I bought this book and read it, everything changed. And I went from single digit, small, slow gains to now exponential progress, making real money and completely blowing away anything that the S&P 500 did. Trading stocks like RXRX, okay? So trading stocks like CVNA, trading stocks like PTPI, okay? Some of these other ones, this is the last few days. So that's what we're going to talk about today. What we're going to talk about today, and keep in mind, by the time I learned Tim Sykes' strategy, got it down, we're probably talking about 2009, 2010, okay? So basically 3 to 4 years. So 3 to 4 years from the time I started trading to the time I started making real money. Now, what we're here tonight for is to massively, massively, massively cut that time down, okay? Because here's my question to you. And I want you, please answer honestly, okay? Let me rephrase the question. Can you, or even do you want to spend 3 to 4 years to get profitable? Like, can you do it? Do you have enough money? Do you have enough time? Do you think you'll get sick of it and give up before you hit that 3 to 4 year period of profitability like it took me? Now, I'm going to answer the question, even though I'd like to see your answers. I'm willing to bet you don't. Okay. I'm willing to bet you're on this webinar because you've probably been losing money. You're probably bleeding your account out, or you have no clue what you're doing. And you're not, you cannot and don't want to spend 3 to 4 years to get consistently profitable. That's what we're here to go over tonight. So that being said, part of that is I'm actually joining the Tim Sykes Challenge. You may be familiar with the Tim Sykes Challenge. You may not be, okay? But the Tim Sykes Challenge is a mentorship program that has created 30 plus millionaires, okay, from scratch. I don't want to say all of them. 99% of them had small accounts. 99% of them were brand new to trading. That was me, okay? That was me back in 2006, found Sykes in 2008. I've now been day trading 17 years, and I've actually been mentoring traders for the past 8. So I've been trading for 17. Took me 3 to 4 years to get profitable, actually sold my business, went into full-time trading. And then in 2015, Tim Sykes and the Stocks to Trade team enlisted me to mentor students, teach them how to use the software, teach them how to use risk management. And since then, I've done over 6,000 live trading webinars. Okay. And basically, what I'm going to show you today is how to spot these short squeeze stocks. Okay. That's what we're looking for. Short squeeze stocks that can give you the exponential gains like a CVNA or an RXX, et cetera, et cetera. So I'd like you to make a commitment for the next hour. I'm going to teach you everything I can, but you'll decide how much you get out of this. Answer questions, take notes, write things down. Okay. I can get you there. I'm going to pack as much information into this hour webinar as possible, but you get out what you put in. The more you pay attention, the more you ask questions, the more you write things down, the better your odds of walking away a better trader. Okay. Now, understand, guys, you can do this, even if you have limited time or limited experience. I want to show you something real quick of some messages from traders that I have mentored. Okay. So this is from Trustpilot. This is a third-party verified website. And basically, this is people that I've helped become consistently profitable traders, just like I can do for you. Tim, Matt, and Rob, I'm still learning about your day trading approach on the platform, and especially pre-market prep and mid are excellent. Relatively simple to understand, but meaty in terms of content. Your daily personal enthusiasm is very welcome. Support staff is best in class, et cetera, et cetera. Great foundation and system for traders at any skill level. The knowledge formatted into simple instructions, guidance, and actions wonderfully, and as well as the software and the guidance as a whole. STT cut my learning curve by years. In a matter of a month and a half, I'm making $500 to $1,000 a week. It has its ups and downs in the market. However, you need to study your butt off. I would say obsessively if you want to be successful. So guys, check that out. Check that out. STT cut my learning curve by years. So a lot of you guys talking about the end of the bull market. Oh my gosh, my friends, we're just getting started. Number one, everyone, we just broke out to all-time highs in the indexes across the board. Literally today, we're at the highest point of the year. Listen, again, and I understand some of you guys are talking the bull market's going to end. Some of you guys think it's going to end. All of this. Listen, my friends, there's two ways to look at things. You can have that kind of doomer mindset that like everything's going to end, okay? Or what I practice and what I teach and what I live by is an abundance mindset. And I truly believe, and I don't want to get too woo-woo, okay? Listen, I'm as down to earth as it gets. I grew up in a small town in northern Michigan, okay? But I truly, truly believe that the universe rewards you for hard work, for making good decisions, and you get out what you put in, okay? So again, I know the name of the webinar is the bull market. Hey, look at where we are right now, all-time highs. It ain't ending anytime soon. So you can be pessimistic and you can sit on the sidelines because you're worried about some crash, or you can capitalize, man. You can capitalize. Like, take advantage of it. Because sitting on the sidelines, worrying about what is going to happen, all that is missed opportunity. That's all it is. The longer you sit on the sidelines, the longer you wait, it's just missed opportunity. So that being said, I'm going to get into the meat of the presentation, everyone. Some of you are asking, you already want to join me, okay? So click here to join me and Tim Sykes in the greatest stock trading mentorship platform on the planet. So some of you asking about, you're like, hey, Tim, I've seen enough. I want in, okay? I just dropped a link. Actually, it'll be in chat in just a second. And when you click that link, it's going to take you to, it's a calendar, okay? And in that calendar, you can actually book a time to speak with an advisor and go over joining me, Tim Sykes, all of the 30 plus millionaire students, and you can get started as soon as today. So, but the best thing to do, that link should be dropping here in a second, or you can go, actually, let me give you the link right here. You can also go to, mil.pub/Tim B. Okay. So mil.pub/Tim B. So if you go to that so mil.pub/Tim B, you're going to go to this page. It's going to look like this. It's going to be a calendar. The reason it's a calendar is it gives you the opportunity to book a time, to speak with an advisor, to go over your goals, to go over your expectations, and to make sure you're a good fit to join the Tim Sykes Challenge along with me, Tim Bowen. So mil.pub/Tim B, and I'll also put it in the chat in a sec. It looks like the chat's a little delayed for some reason. So, okay. So let's get into it, guys. So when we're talking about stocks that can make exponential moves, there's a lot of things you want to look for. This is where I want you to take notes. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. So the link is in chat. So there we go. So it says, click here to join me and Tim Sykes in the greatest stock trading mentorship on the planet. And then the link is there. You can just click that link and get straight to that calendar. Okay. So when we talk about heavily shorted stocks, there's many things we look for. And number one, we're looking for irrational biases. Okay. And when we're looking for irrational biases, that's when we talk about the fact that a company like CVNA, okay, this is Carvana. If you remember Carvana, they have the used car vending machines. Okay. Maybe you've seen them. Kind of dubious. Okay. They're very over leveraged. This company went wild back during 2020. But what you'll notice is this stock was sitting basically at 52-week lows about 2 months ago. So if you look on my chart right there, that's May 5th, 2023. Stock was sitting, actually, not 52-week lows, all-time lows. Basically sitting at all-time lows. Everyone was bearish this stock. Every short seller was putting out research reports and bashing this stock and putting it down. And then what happened was a week later, it gaps up, which that wasn't even really the buy signal. So it gaps up to about $10 a share. So almost doubled in the matter of a couple of days. But the crazy thing is right here is where the magic happened. So on June 9th, you will see that it broke out over that high from back in February. Back in February, there was a big failure point. Stock ran up, failed, went all the way down. At the point that it broke in early June, over those highs in that $15 to $18 range, that's when we knew the squeeze was on. How did we know the squeeze was on? Because everything is bearish about this company. Like their financials are terrible. They could go bankrupt. They could go out of business. Everything is bad at Carvana, okay? And this is kind of funny because you might be sitting there and you might be saying, well, wait a minute, Tim, if everything is bad, what would possibly convince me to buy this stock? Price action, okay? What we have to recognize, and if there's one thing that I hope to teach you today, is that recognizing price action trumps everything else, okay? And now, I want to be clear, and this may be confusing to some of you. CVNA is going to struggle in a few months from now, or 6 months from now. This is probably going to be all the way back at $5. But between June and 6 months from now, this could retest the highs all the way back up here to $50, $60. It's already up 100% from that breakout in that $18 range, 18 to 41, over 100%. And I think it's got 50% more of upside. So that is when you can recognize these chart patterns and you can recognize the price action. You now know that there is a high probability of this stock continuing to go for days and weeks and so on. You know, NVIDIA is another one. one of the most profitable companies, absolutely leading the artificial intelligence sector across the board. They gapped up on earnings. So NVIDIA had earnings back here at the end of May, gapped up almost $100 a share. Guys, NVIDIA, this is a $1 trillion corporation. It gapped up $100 a share on earnings. And if you look, it just refuses to stop, breaking out to all-time highs. And I think by no means is it done. It's another one, NVIDIA. Now, I know you might be looking at it and say, oh, Tim, it's a $430 stock. But understand, guys, these are just some of the examples. These setups repeat all the time, okay? RXRX going into the end of the week. AAOI, write down that stock. We're going to go over that next. And CRBU, we're going to go over that one next. You know, those are much lower price stocks. AAOI is $9, CRBU is $8, RXRX $12. Now, NVIDIA, if you trade options, okay, some of you may be options traders. If you're not, don't worry about it. I just want to be clear that if you're an options trader, NVIDIA just absolutely incredible day after day after day. So next, let's talk about AAOI. Guys, look at this chart, okay? And what's great is we finally, for the first time in about 2 months, we got a pullback on AAOI. So number one, what I want you to do is write down these price levels. If AAOI retests $10.30, that would be your potential entry. And man, I think this thing still has a parabolic move behind it. This could skip up $15 to $20. Now you got to wait for the re-breakout at $10.30. I'm actually loving the fact that we finally got a red day. This is literally like the first red day in weeks. So that pullback gives us great potential entries on this thing. Also a semiconductor play, also a profitable company, also just a beautiful, absolute beautiful chart. Next one, CRBU. So CRBU the other day actually got a $25 million investment from Pfizer. Remember, RXRX, very similar. When these small cap companies get equity infusions, when they get cash from the big companies, listen, Pfizer and NVIDIA, these are some of the biggest companies in the entire world. It is always bullish when they get an investment like that, because think about two things. Pfizer's not dumb with their money, okay? Apple isn't dumb with their money. Microsoft isn't dumb with their money. NVIDIA, on down the line, okay? These are, when you're talking about the business people at a Pfizer or a Microsoft or an NVIDIA or an Apple, these are some of the smartest people in the world. Now, doesn't mean they don't make mistakes, okay? They could still make a mistake and make a poor investment. But what would you want to do? Like if you're looking to invest or trade in a stock, who do you want to follow? Like to me, I want to follow the smartest guys and gals in the world. So the other day, Pfizer bought shares of CRBU just the other day at $5.33. This stock broke out to multi-month highs today, up to $8.60. Pfizer's already up on their investment. They're probably going to buy more stocks. They're probably going to buy more shares. They're going to continue and invest, which means it will support the bid on this stock and keep it grinding higher. Again, let me know, yes or no in chat. Would you rather follow what the smartest guys in the world are doing or follow some random system? I want to know what they're doing. I want to know what NVIDIA is doing. So anyway, CRBU should continue to grind higher for days, weeks, possibly months, possibly years. And then same with RXRX. Now, RXRX, I think, got ahead of itself a little bit today, squeezed up to 19. Remember, I played you the video. Those of you that were here early, we were all over RXRX at 11, and I was late, okay? If you remember, I think, who was it? Oh, Nathaniel. Yeah, Nathaniel, again, I can't verify this, but Nathaniel says he made $3 a share on 2,000 shares from my call this morning on RXRX. That's like $6,000, okay? So, but that being said, I think RXRX did get a little bit ahead of itself, but it is currently closing near the breakout levels. The breakout level would be basically 13. Looks like it's going to close in the mid 12s. Nice, and then incredible volume. Like, look at this volume candle. Over how many shares today? 67 million shares. We got an hour and a half left in the day. And the average volume of this stock is 2 million shares a day. So this thing is going to trade probably 40 to 50x float rotation. Or not float rotation, times its 60-day average volume. So when we talk about VPA, write that down, guys. VPA, volume profile analysis. We're always looking for stocks with unusual volume. Write this down. Okay. I want you guys taking notes. Okay. Listen, we got a half an hour left together. I want you to walk away from this a better trader. One of my favorite quotes is unusual volume brings unusual price action. Unusual volume brings unusual price action. So when we're looking to trade these stocks, remember back to my story when I got started trading, I was trading all of these slow moving stocks and never making any money because I wasn't focused on VPA, volume profile analysis. I wasn't focused on float rotation. I wasn't focused on supply and demand imbalances. I was just buying stocks that I believed in. Hey, I drive a Chevy truck, I buy GM. Hey, I got an iPhone, I buy Apple. So by not being able to interpret the difference in supply and demand and unusual volume and catalysts, etc. So that is why we have to isolate these stocks with the potential for ballistic moves, because that's the only way you're going to grow your account over time. And all of these stocks are set up to do that because of the unusual volume, because of the size of the float, because of the hot sector, because of all these criteria that we looked at. So, my friends, who would like to be ready to trade all of these stocks every single day, live on trading webinars with the best trading team out there? Fubo, by the way. Fubo was a morning alert that we sent out to the team. Man, nice slow grinder. Beautiful. Guys, Fubo, nice gradual uptrending stock. Not an explosive mover, but just a nice uptrending stock. So, guys, if you would have liked to have known about RXRX in advance of the move, if you would have liked to have known about CRBU a week ago when Pfizer gave them the money, AAOI started breaking out weeks ago, CVNA started breaking out weeks ago. All of these tickers we went over live in the Tim Sykes Challenge, live in the Steady Trade team. And if you would like to be in that group, you can click that link. I just dropped it in chat. It'll pop up in a second. And you can click and book with an advisor and speak to my team about getting started. So, and also, guys, drop me. Well, we're headed towards the Q&A section. So drop me Q&A and let me know, like if you want some elaboration on some of the things we went over, we can do that as well. So the biggest thing we're looking for, and just to review, we're looking for stocks with hot catalysts, okay? RXRX was that, considering the fact that it had an equity investment in the artificial intelligence sector, and that's the hottest hot sector. Other than biotechs. Biotechs have been very, very hot this entire year, but then artificial intelligence, since ChatGPT went mainstream in about late January, or early February, artificial intelligence plays have been the hottest ones out there. And RXRX is that. So the reason NVIDIA gave them money is because NVIDIA is the absolute market leader in artificial intelligence hardware. The next thing we want to isolate is unusual volume, okay? If you're trading stocks that are trading their average volume or slightly above their average volume, you're going to get stuck in sideways stocks and you're going to hate your life. That's the second thing you look for. Next thing we look for is clearly defined chart patterns based on past history. And when I talk about that, there's a bunch of different chart patterns, but the core ones we look at are stocks that are breaking out on multiple time frames. And the time frames we use in short-term trading, whether it be day trading, swing trading, Remember, swing trading is very similar to day trading. You're looking at a little bit of a longer time frame, usually weeks to months. Now, because of that, we use all the same criteria. We trade all the same stocks. We just use different levels on the chart and different position sizing. Now, if I'm getting too complex or in the weeds, I want to be clear, write stuff down, ask questions. But swing trading is the same as day trading. It just has a different time frame attached to it. And the time frames we use on our charts and the levels we look at are the 1 year, 1 day chart, all candlestick charts, okay? We look at the 2 month, 15-minute chart, and then the 2 day, 5-minute. You'll see on my screen right here, the 2 day, 5-minute chart. So, ELOX. ELOX. So was anybody on this webinar last night? So I did a similar webinar to this last night. Were any of you there? Who remembers ELOX? Who remembers the key level on ELOX? 2 questions. Guys, so look at yesterday, ELOX had news. Yesterday, ELOX traded 50 million shares on average volume of 1 million. So yesterday, ELOX traded 60 times its volume, average volume, VPA, had news. It's a 1.6 million float stock. So especially as we head into Friday, if ELOX breaks 11, it might even be today. I'm kind of, my timing's kind of messed up. It's been a really busy day. I keep thinking it's later in the day. I keep thinking it's like 3:30 versus 2:30. We got an hour and a half left in the trading day. But as ELOX grinds up, if it breaks 10:50, 11, woo, man, you got something special. Write that ticker down, write that level down. And even today, you can see it's trading 7.5 million shares. That's still 7 times the average volume on day 2. Now, if this thing breaks out over that 10:50, 11, you're going to see a massive amount of volume come in because everybody's got their alerts there. Everybody's ready for it there. So, man, that's exciting with ELOX, man. Very exciting. I like this trend up. And something we often talk about, and you might have heard me say it, is the Friday short squeeze, okay? Obviously, tomorrow is Friday. So when stocks are pushing their highs into the end of the week, short sellers tend to panic because they don't want to run the risk of holding over the weekend and there being Monday morning news. We call it Money Monday for a reason. The reason we say Money Monday is a significant majority of stocks release news on Monday morning. So companies know how to time this. They know how to play the game. So they will wait until Monday morning to issue news because they want to get the maximum amount of traders. Every Monday is always the busiest trading day of the week. So if you were going to release news, when would you do it? Like if you were a low price stock, you're trying to raise money through selling stock, when would you issue your press release? Well, if you're smart, you're going to drop it Monday morning. So when these stocks are trending up into the end of the week, and ELOX is getting ready to close at basically 9-month highs. Like if ELOX closes here, it's at 9-month highs and probably fills the gap up to 16 or 17. So especially if they drop a Monday morning press release. Now, the point behind that is short sellers are very scared on Friday afternoons because they know that the companies are probably going to drop some follow-up news on Monday morning, catch them off guard, squeeze the stock up, and then short sellers panic, while long bias traders like us can recognize that because of all 3 of the criteria I talked about: unusual volume, float, news, chart patterns. Do you guys see this chart pattern? Look at this where I'll hover my cursor there. Notice back here in September, gap down, and then it tried to break that 10 level several times and pulled back. Basically a quadruple top. If this stock can resoundingly break that, especially after the volume today, it's not going to look back, and it's probably going to fill that gap up again into that 16 to 17 area. That's what we look at. Okay. That's what we look at. Oh, tomorrow is Thursday. You're right. Man, it has been such a busy week. So, okay, man, that's funny. William, that's funny. Now, guys, everything I said still remains, okay? But it's crazy. That is how busy it's been. That is this week, my friends, the amount of trading opportunities, like every single day. I thought it was, you're right. Now, nothing I said changed. Nothing I said changed. Everything applies. Whether it be, I mean, obviously we're one day away from Friday, but all the levels apply, all the setups apply. And thank you, William, for reminding me. But I tell you, it's been, well, really the whole year. This whole year has just been an absolute blur of trading opportunities. So, my friends, it's kind of that where I'm kind of coming to the end of the presentation. Like flat out, you've got a choice to make at this point. Okay.